okulonda basentebe b'ebyalo olutalo lubalusewo mu Palamenti y'eggwanga Uganda. Kulira oludda oluvuganya oba akulira gavumenti ya Kyagulanyi mu Palamenti Lop Mpuuga Nsamba n'abaka ba Palamenti balidde obuwuka bakubye emmeeza bagamba tebayinza kubikkiriza anti gavumenti ya Mwai Museveni evuddeyo ng'eyita mu Attorney General Kiryowa Kiwanuka nga bagamba nti ettaamu y'abaami ab'ebyalo yandibadde yongezebwayo ne bagira nga bafuga paka gavumenti lw'eneetereeza ne balyoka balonda. Jjukira nti ekisanja eky'abakulembeze ba ssentebe b'ebyalo kyaweddeko era nga wadde walina okubaawo okulonda mu nnaku ezitali zeewala. Wabula kati Mwami Museveni ne gavumenti ye bagamba nti bassentebe ababaddeko bagira bakyayongezebwa bagira bakyafuga bagira bakyakulembera ebbanga eritali ggere. Bino ebitabudde ababaka ba Palamenti nga bagamba tekisoboka kukkirizibwa waakiri ssemateeka ataddemu akyusibwe butupya balabe engeri gye bayinza okuba nga batambulamu n'embeera. Naye tebayinza kuba nga bakolera ku ssemateeka ate omukadde ate bamumenye bamutyoboole nti ate bongeze ekisanja ky'abassentebe ate ng'ekisanja kyaweddeko ssemateeka kyagamba. Kiba kitegeeza nti aba bali ku bukulembeze baba baliko mu bumenyi bw'amateeka nti bino si byakugendera ku bigambo bya muntu nti pa nga bwakuba engalo nti pa nga funa tunula eno nti pwa wabula byagoberera ssemateeka. Ssemateeka kyagamba nti walina okubawo okulonda bassentebe nti ate Mwami Museveni bw'agamba nti ate ekisanja kyabwe kyongezebweyo nga tewali kulonda kuba kumenya ssemateeka. N'olwekyo olutalo sinziggu olutalo kasiggu luli mu Palamenti y'eggwanga olunaku olwaleero nga bawakanya Attorney General yogedde ebigambo nti okulonda kwa ssentebe kwandibadde ebisanja byabwe byongezebwayo kyokka ate nga byaweddeko. Kale katukerine mu Palamenti ffenna muneegatteko tulabe Attorney General byagamba n'ababaka ba Palamenti kye bagamba ku kuteesa kwe kuno okwamutumiddwa mukama we Mwai Museveni.
Madam Speaker and honorable members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Right Honorable Speaker, I have been requested by this August House to make a statement in relation to the status of Local Council 1 and Local Council 2 administrative units. As this House was informed by the Honorable Minister of Local Government, the term of the Local Councils 1 and 2 expired on 10th July 2023. As we all appreciate, this is a serious matter that goes to the very foundation of our governance, which mandates that all power belongs to the people, and the people will express their will and consent to be governed through regular, free and fair election.
Members, is the statement uploaded?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed,
uploaded.
a careful reading of the
There is
Constitution.
a procedure matter. Why don't you leave him to finish reading?
Madam Speaker, yesterday you instructed the Minister for Justice to come in, and he came in. We are listening to a matter that is very paramount in the Minister of Justice's sector, and he is not here.
Honorable,
And he is not here, Madam
Honorable,
Speaker.
I have a schedule of who attends when. Even yesterday, the minister said in their ministry, they have a schedule who attends. Yesterday was a day for the minister. Today is a day for Honorable KK. On Tuesday will be for Honorable Kafusi. So I am allowing him to do it, and he's representing the ministry.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for your wise guidance. Indeed, a careful reading of the Constitution indicates that the framers of the Constitution were careful to ensure that there should never be a vacuum. There should never exist a vacuum that takes away the power of the people, as above mentioned. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, members of Parliament, I'm here to assure you that the government of Uganda is fully seized with this matter, and we are going to come to the House next week with a concrete way forward for the support to ensure. Right Honorable
Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members, your reaction is premature. Why don't you wait for him to finish? Then you debate on the document.
Right, Honourable Speaker.
Now you're debating on anticipation.
Not anticipation.
Okay, first sit.
Okay.
First sit. First sit. First sit. Can we have the statement concluded?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. To seek your support, allow us to come to the House next week to seek your support to ensure that the representation of our people is sustained in accordance with the dictates of the Constitution and our law. I therefore request you to give us time to conclude the internal consultations to obtain the necessary approval of Cabinet as provided for under the Local Governments Act to enable us to prepare a way forward to present to this House.
Let him finish the last sentence. There is only one sentence.
Right Honorable Speaker, government would like to assure the public that the apparent void created by the absence of the administrative units is being handled. Yes, as we pursue and await the necessary cabinet approvals and parliamentary approval, we advise that the immediate recently elected leadership of the administrative units should continue rendering the necessary services to the people of Uganda in observance of the spirit and principle of the Constitution, that there should never be a vacuum in leadership. Right Honorable Speaker, government is proceeding with the...
Can you finish? Can you finish? Allow him to finish. First finish.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, order.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, government is moving currently and preparing the necessary documentations for amendment of the law in accordance with Section 175 of the Local Governments Act. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much. Sechi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and members, I'm at a loss. The Attorney General, the Land Attorney General, gave an opening statement how power belongs to the people, who must decide how and when they should be governed. And he enumerated Article 1 of the Constitution and said that is the way people are governed. But then at the same time, the same breath, the same point, he went on to say that he's aware that the term lapsed on 10th of July, and now they are going to sit as cabinet to come up with a way forward and amend and present a workable arrangement to this House. Right Honorable Speaker, what happens between the 10th and when cabinet shall sit down? Number two, you also on TVs, the LC1 chairpersons returning the stamps. They were returning them, meaning that their term had expired. So what is happening since then and now, and him being a landed Attorney General, he knows that courts are moving on. People need LC1 letters to stand surety for the suspects in courts of law. He knows that people are transacting every day requiring the stamp of the chairpersons of villages to endorse those transactions. He knows that the biggest section of our people and the governance structures are right from the villages that total more than 70,000. So
Thank
right
you.
Honorable Speaker, is the Land Attorney General in order to come and take matters of democracy and governance of this country in such.
Honorable members, one thing we need to clear is, since the AG says there is no vacuum, is there a legitimacy of the decisions that are being taken by the LOC1 systems now? Those are things, because Honorable Attorney General, I want that clear first. Since you're saying there is no vacuum, is there a legitimacy from the legal perspective?
Yes.
Not political.
Right Honorable Speaker, the advice I render is legal advice. And if anyone doubts it, they need to go and challenge it in court. So this advice, no, what I'm saying, Right Honorable Speaker, is that the advice I'm rendering is to cover the void.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Right Honorable.
Yes.
It is
Honorable members, let's have respect for each other. You're in this house to respond to what is raised. Don't tell us to go to court. That's why we have a legal advisor. You know, you're one of my favorite ministers. But now here, for you to tell us to go to
My
court.
sincere apologies, Right Honorable Speaker.
No.
I withdraw that statement.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My issue is with the Attorney General. Of course, he says the advice he gives is illegal. But I wanted him to guide this house, because the first or the most cardinal role of this parliament is to uphold the constitution of this country. So for us to sit when there is a violation, I don't think it's right. I wanted the Attorney General to guide us to the provisions, because even when he guides legally, he should be basing on some legal provisions. To make reference, to refer us to some provisions of the law against which he leans to tell us to wait or even give mandate to the existing structures to continue operating. So I would want him to help us understand where he bases the argument and what guides his wisdom in that.
Thank you. Would you want to respond to whichever is raised? No, let him respond.
Thank you, Right
Maybe it
Right
helps.
Honorable Speaker, my advice is based on Section 45 of the Local Governments Act, which provides for administrative units.
Right Honorable Speaker.
But you're putting an order, you've not finished with citing the law. We need to know the law so that you check whether it's the right law or not. Yes. Honorable, cite the law.
Right Honorable Speaker, I'm relying on Section 45 of the Local Governments Act, which provides for administrative units of councils and committees at the village levels. I'm relying on Section 175 of the Local Governments Act, which provides for the schedules that are set out in the Local Governments Act, and third schedule, Regulation 11, which empowers the local government minister to extend a term of office of local government. Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. Right.
Proceed.
Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, Section 45 is administrative units, councils, and committees. There shall be administrative units based on A, in rural areas, the county, parish, and village. B, in urban areas, the parish or ward, town board, and the village. That is the administrative units. There shall be a council in each level of administrative units. That is 45. And then 175. Did you say 175? 175. That is regulation and amendment of schedules. Regulations and amendment of schedules. 1. The minister may, by statutory instrument, make regulations for further carrying into effect of the provisions of this act. The minister. 2. The minister may, by statutory instrument and with the approval of cabinet, amend, replace, alter, or revoke any of the schedules provided under this act, and the minister shall not have powers to delegate this function. 3. The minister shall, as soon as practicable, alter the publication of the statutory instrument under this section. The instrument to be laid before Parliament, and the Parliament may amend or revoke the statutory instrument. And if no amendment, the revocation is effective within 2 weeks. It's being laid before Parliament and it shall be deemed to have been approved. What is the relationship between this and election? You know, I am just asking the relationship between section 175 and the election of Now, if we are talking about an extension, there must be a statutory instrument, and if there is a statutory instrument, Honorable Attorney General, do you have the statutory instrument that you want to? Do you have it? If you have it or you're going to make it, tell us you're going to do it.
Right Honorable Speaker, in my statement I did state that you allow me time to have the approval, because like you have read, Right Honorable Speaker, the instrument that is required to be done is supposed to be approved by cabinet, and after approval by cabinet must come to Parliament for approval.
All right. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I am just seeking clarification from the Attorney General. He clearly stated that the term of office, he understands that expired. I want to seek clarification from government and the Attorney General. According to him, what happens between now and when the government, that is next week, are these committees illegal according to him or legal? Secondly, according to Honorable Sechikubo, there are some chairpersons who have returned the stamps already, and there are those who have not returned the stamps, and arguments are being made in the villages. If anyone goes to court and challenges these agreements, what happens there? Can the Attorney General advise our people on how to operate in their villages? In the absence of these committees, I received the information from Honorable Bedi Wanika.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want a more clarification from the Attorney General. Article 181 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. 4. All local government councils shall be elected every 5 years.
Not May.
Not May. And the Schedule 3, which you are quoting, the provision there for extending their term is only when there is war or in the case of a state of emergency. Is government planning to declare a state of emergency? Number two,
Honorable members, we are not in a state of emergency. We are not even about to declare. The issue of local government is very simple. The issue of local government is very simple. How many villages do we have in Uganda?
Right, Honorable Speaker, there's about 71,000 villages. But just to clarify on something that Honorable Abed asked, LC1 and LC2 are not local governments. They are administrative units. You want to refer to Article 176 of the Constitution, which says the local government system, they are part of the local government system, but they are not local government. Yes, let me read it for you.
That is
subject to Article 178. The system of local government in Uganda shall be based on district as a unit, under which there shall be such local government and administrative units as Parliament may prescribe. Article 207 of the Constitution tells you what a local government is, and it includes only a sub-county, a district, and a parish. So it is not a local government. So the amendment being brought, is only to deal with administrative units, not local governments.
Honorable Attorney General. Honorable Attorney General, whether it is administrative units, whether it is what, are we supposed to have elections for it?
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker. The one for local governments is set out as
the administrative units.
Yes, the local government is set out in Article 181.5. The one for administrative units is set out in 170 of the Local Governments Act, and hence we can deal with it under that amendment.
Let me
so
hear,
touching this Constitution.
Let me hear the shadow Attorney General. Let's first hear from the shadow.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I have a lot of respect for my junior, but senior, since he occupies that position. But with all the due respect, I am at a loss on the kind of interpretation he has ascribed today, especially when he says there is no vacuum. Right Honorable Speaker, although yes, it is true, Local Council 1 and 2 are mere administrative units, they also have quasi-judicial functions. And part of the quasi-judicial functions are clearly stipulated in the Local Council Courts Act of 2006. Now, the expiry of the term of those administrative units implies that the quasi-judicial functions of those units cannot be dispensed with when their term has expired. And there is no way you can apply to extend an already expired term. And even if you were to extend an expired term, that kind of extension cannot apply to the act we passed in respect of Local Council Courts Act. So unless they want to completely remove the quasi-judicial functions from these administrative units, and then say we are going to extend,
in respect of only the functions of administrative units, excluding the quasi-judicial functions, then we do not even need those units to be there, because one of their cardinal roles is actually the quasi-judicial function. So we either have the elections for LC1 and LC2, or we agree that yes, you have run broke as a country, you can no longer manage, bring a constitutional amendment, and we remove them all together. But otherwise, to say that everything is normal because they can extend the term, in my view, is disrespectful, and I therefore move a motion that the statement by the Attorney General be rejected and expunged from the record.
Yes. It must be rejected and expunged.
Thank you, Right Honorable.
We are moving a motion
Member, for giving way. He gave me information.
Malende.
The motion, Madam Speaker, I have moved is that it's a motion without notice, that the statement by the Attorney General be rejected by this House and be expunged from the record.
Honorable members, expunging the statement is not going to solve the problem. What is going to solve the problem is for us to discuss on how to renew, on how to have these members elected. That is what we need. We cannot expand that statement. Yes. And the good thing, the Attorney General accepted there is a virtue.
Much obliged, Right Honourable Speaker. The Land Attorney General knows that I hold him in very high regard, being my senior at the bar, and in all respects. Two things have happened today, Right Honourable Speaker. One is that we have had the Member of Parliament sworn in as a matter of law and the Constitution. If there were powers anywhere that anybody could instruct someone to fill the vacuum, would have had an MP for Oyam in the interim as government prepares for elections. But because the law cannot be vacated, we had to have an election in that constituency. I know it is summer in Uganda, Right Honourable Speaker, and the government could be on holiday. That's why the Land Attorney General.
We are on holiday. Honorable Leader of Opposition.
Honourable Speaker.
Honorable Leader of Opposition. As we speak now, the elephant in the room is how do we regularize the tenure of the expired LOC 1s and 2, whether people are on holiday or not. The issue is regularizing.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. And that's why now the Prime Minister is paying attention, having referred to summer holidays. Honourable Speaker, we heard from the Land Attorney General that he was aware that these councils expired on the 10th. And he also quoted the law which is going to use to come next week to try and regularize and hazard a response to the crisis, Honourable Speaker. Meaning that clearly there's no preparedness. For the whole of last week and this week, we have been demanding for clarity on the situation. The Land Attorney General claims that he was close with the law to vacate the crisis and never came to the House to say so. He's now bidding for time. Right Honourable Speaker, our mandate as members of Parliament is non-delegable. We cannot delegate this mandate as custodians of the Constitution. There's no doubt we have listened to the Land Attorney General. He has not spoken anything new as far as the law that sets into motion the existence of these councils is concerned. And the facts that he made mention of the facts that we can go to court spoke volumes.
No, he
withdrew, but the intent remained. The spirit remained, meaning that.
No, he withdrew.
I concur.
Yes.
I concur, Honourable Speaker. Meaning that the lack of legal and political will still exists in the government. Honourable Speaker, I want to invite the House on both sides of the aisle. I would like to invite the House.
Yes, there's an order.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues,
Hmm.
the
Nabanja.
LOC system
Mhm.
is the system that was brought in this country
By
by the
NRM.
NRM government.
Mhm. Ekyo olina okwogera Nabanja. Nye twalina abatongole.
Tell him. Yes, Prime Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I wanted the member to be attentive so that I can speak my mind. Right Honorable Speaker, the LOC system was brought in this country by the NRM government.
Mhm.
That now means
Mhm.
we are the brain workers of the LOC system.
Mhm. Kiri mu Palamenti bantu bange. Bintu bya kulonda aba ssente ba LC esooka ne LC ey'okubiri. Gavumenti egamba teri ready, ndowooza terina ssente bulungi ziteeka kulonda kuno. N'olwekyo baagala bagira bongezaayo, bassente bagira bakakkalabya emirimu. Naye ate batinkuula etteeka kuba kumenya mateeka. Kuba omuntu asobola okufuna ebbaluwa ya LC1 oba LC2 n'agitwala mu kkooti n'abaako kyagikozesa oba gula ki oba kukola ki n'agikozesa mu kkooti naye ate oli n'agenda n'amuwawaabira nti bye yakoze bimenya amateeka kubanga LC teziriiwo n'awangula. So bali mu kutaputa mateeka nti lwaki twagala okumenya amateeka ate ng'etteeka ligamba kirala. Tugoberere amateeka tulonde bassentebe. Bwe kiba nga tebakyasobola gavumenti erina nsimbi bassentebe ebifo ebyo biggibwewo baleete mu Palamenti badde bakolese mateeka omujja nga LC1 ne 2 tezikyaliwo. Ke kabadi nno akali mu Palamenti era nga buli omu agezaako okumatiza ensonga. Minisita atugambye nti NRM yaleeta bassentebe. N'olwekyo be bannannyini baabo. Oba baagala obbajjawo babajjawo. Uganda.
Tell him.
Onyumirwa.
Yes, Prime Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I wanted the member to be attentive so that I can speak my mind. Right Honorable Speaker, the LOC system was brought in this country by the NRM government. That now means we are the brain workers of the LOC system. Is he in order to insinuate that this government does not have a will to cause the election of LOCs? Yet we have the majority in this country. Is he in order?
Is in order.
Sir, Minister, one night. Sir, Minister, Nabanja.
Honorable members. Honorable members.
Nabanja ne Mpuuga beekwatako. Kubanga bwana bwa njala.
Honorable members.
Is in order.
Honorable members.
Speaker wa ruling
can I have some attention?
Is he in order?
She's Honorable, Right Honorable Prime Minister Nabanja. She's not Nabanja. Honorable members. Honorable members. I want to...
You want to what? To insinuate?
Honorable members. You want to finish?
Yes. Because I was interrupted, Right Honourable Speaker. And I want to agree with the Right Honourable Prime Minister. and we congratulate the NRM for
For
bringing
bringing
LCs on a
LCs.
fire truck which has caught fire.
Can you finish?
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker. You see, the invitation for me to this House on both sides of the aisle is to see our duty as Parliament and not to be taken for granted. Initially, we were being informed that there was no money, and a huge bill of 56 billion was being flashed around with no premise at all. Then second, we were told that they were in existence legally. We asked for the law, and the statutes were opened, and there was nothing to really show for it. And you can confirm that from the Land Attorney General, he was trying to hazard some quotation of the law, but we know the law a little bit, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to invite the House to reject that statement, and if government is not ready, these members of Parliament are coming from constituencies that are actually seated on hot plates. There's chaos in the communities.
There's a procedure matter, but before you come with your procedure, I want to refer the Attorney General to Article 1112 of the Constitution. The function of Cabinet shall be to determine, formulate, and implement the policies of government and to perform such other functions as may be conferred by this Constitution or any other law. Would you mind giving this House maybe the timelines, the roadmap on this matter with the tangible timelines, really?
Right Honourable Speaker, the proposal will be before Cabinet. It's going to be on the agenda on Monday, and the Minister of Local Government will be appearing in the House on Tuesday with the proposed amendment to resolve this impasse.
But do we agree legally that is a problem?
Right Honourable, there is a challenge which
there is a challenge. Yes, we agree that there is a challenge.
Which the law
legally.
is going to address, Right Honourable.
The law is going to address?
It's going to address it all the way from the 10th. So that's why we are saying that they should be allowed to continue providing these services. Because the proposal we are bringing is to address it from the 10th.
Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members. Honourable members. Let's allow government. This is a very serious matter. All of you have LOC1s, LOC2s. This is a very serious matter that must be corrected, and it must be corrected. And I want to really advise the AG, maybe government, to go back and consult and advise the country on this matter. It's a very serious matter. Honorable members, I am still giving you, because I am not going to continue on something that is an illegality. I will not do it. Honorable members, we are going to wait for a report from government. The government must advise this country on the way forward. I am still speaking. Now, if you're going to continue with procedure on what? We need a position of government, not to continue speculating. What will you tell your LOCs if you went to the village tomorrow? Honorable members, as we wait for a statement from government, as we wait for the position of government, this house
adjourned,
and this house will be adjourned and dying to wait for the statement.
Okay. Ebigambo mubiwulidde. ate nga mubyerabiddeko Palamenti ya Uganda lutalo lwennyini okulonda bassentebe ba LC eyo esooka oba ab'ebyalo n'eyokubiri gavumenti eremeddeko egamba teri ready ndowooza terinamu kasente bulungi ekkunje terimala eyagala bassentebe bagira bongezebwayo ekisanja kyabwe kigira kyongezebwayo bagira bakulembera bagira bakyakola ebbaluwa bagira bakyatunda ettaka bagira bakyakola endagaano bagira bakyakola ebbaluwa zitwalibwa mu makooti naye ate nga jjukira constitution tebakkiriza kubanga baggwako ekisanja kyabwe kyaggwako nga 10 kati meaning baba bakolera mbumenyi bw'amateeka era kyangu nnyo omuntu ogenda mu kooti n'awaaba nti ssentebe ebbaluwa gye yawaayo yali nfu kubanga ekisanja kyali kiweddeko okusinziira ku ssemateeka tuyinza kuwozaamu no simanya ate gavumenti yayongezaayo naye ate nga ssemateeka ayogera kirala kuba mu kooti teboogerera ku bya hiyase bagenda ku ssemateeka agamba ki ssemateeka kyagamba ne kooti kyetambulirako kati gwe okuva eri n'oleeta ebibooziboozi byo ebya kooti manya ebyantu n'egino byayogedde twongezeeyo oba oli ku mboozi z'amalwa n'olwekyo ovala olutalo olw'amaanyi omuliro mungi mu Palamenti ne sipiika bitusene bimulemeera n'agamba kale katuwummulemu tulinde gavumenti ate esooka ereete endowooza yayo mu bujjuvu ababaka bonna badde aleese omuliro nti bannange eyo mu bitundu bassentebe stamp bazizizayo tezikyalina mugaso kubanga ekisanja kyabwe kyaweddeko ate nga mu mateeka kyalina kye bakola Ssaabaminisita n'avaayo ne yeewaana nti Robina Nabbanja gwe ngamba musaafiri nti bo nga gavumenti ya NRM benyumiriza nnyo kubanga bwe baleeta zi LC tezaaliwo naye ate twalina abatongole ate omugaso gwa LC sigumanyi ng'ate waaliwo abatongole ate nga baali bakola na beta nnyo so LC ndabiri useless byandivudde nawo okay bw'atyo ye n'agamba mbu tubawaane tubatendereze kubanga baleeta LC kuba zina mugaso kinze sigumanyi nze naawe okujjako ebyokuyaaya obuyaaya kati nno Palamenti yeegamba nti bwe wanga mwaleeta LC weeru tweyanziza tusiimye nnyo bakulu mwebale kutuleetera kubanga mwayagala okwonoona ebimwasangawo ne muteekawo byammwe ebipya ebitalina mugaso tweyanziza nnyo okutuleetera naye mubanga mwatuleetera mwakiteekawo nti balina okulondebwa bali mu mateeka buli luvannyuma lwa myaka 5 balina okulonda abapya bwe kibanga gyaba n'emyaka giweddeko tulonda abapya lwaki tebaagala kulonda bakyabaza bagamba tuyinza okwiwawo ekintu kati bonna Kyagulanyi n'abatwala 2026 ntakwatamu bajjukira obululu obusinga bubbibwa ku zeero seno Mwami Museveni yayita n'akola akatemba w'esayansi we nabba kati anoonya akoze atya infiltration okuyingirayo alabe nti bonna abalondebwa baba ba NRM kati kyali mu kubala ayinza okukigireka ne kiyitawo n'akitwala paka 2026 nobanga okulonda kwaba ssentebe kuli olunaku lwemu ne balonda pulezidenti nekiba nti bonna bassentebe balonda balina kuba ba NRM olyoka owulira embaga kati kana akazannyo kaali mu bazanya balaga nti tali lwedde tewali ssente naye nga bo bali mu kubala nti bwe tukireka bwe tuti Kyagulanyi ajja tutwalako ebifo ajja kuwuuta ebifo byonna ate bw'anaawuuta ebifo tuyinza obutakwatamu ne tuswala kati Mwami Museveni ayinza kukkiriza kuswala towards election kwa kyemulaga kati kyakitegeeza ne luli ku end kyemujja okukola tagala kuba bantu momentum eyo ebongera ssuubi nti we can do it tusobola okukikola kyobulaba kono katemba sayansi yenna mumulaba abakapala ntibayinza obutakitegeera nawe oyinza obutakitegeera bwobanga tulowoozezza nnyo Mwami Museveni atya defeat kati nti any defeat ate nga botalina bwagenda kububba bamusimba ku migongo kati alina bwagenda bukyusa alangiriremu ssentebe omulala kadde majority ekinaavayo nti bassentebe abasinga bonna mu ggwanga balondeddwa ba national unity platform aime taatawe Mwami Museveni oba mukubye omuggo mu mutwe tayinza kukkiriza kuwa wiini kati alina okuzannya omuzannyo mu magezi gwe tomanyi nti naali kuzannya politics olowooza tewali ssente gavumenti tugireke naye nga ye ali mu kubala national unity platform nti bwe ntulekawo okulonda kw'aba ssentebe olwaleero Kyagulanyi agenda kumpangula Kyagulanyi bwampangula mba mpedde abantu mamba wadde imagination kyatayagala bannayuganda mufune essuubi eryo nti Mwami Museveni tumusobola kwera bamulonda bassentebe bonna nimuyitamu banupu mujja kuddamu mufune vibe mugambe 2026 tukisobola tujja kukikola tayagala abateme enteega mu magezi koza abakyala babalonda mujebaleko mwami Museveni ne gavumenti yo mwe musinga mubala ne lunaku lujja kucha olu ne munabale emirundi 10 mu 10 lujja kucha olu gavumenti ejagwa temumanyi sogere binayitira bantu bange mbagala nnyo mwebale kuba nti mubaddeko mwebale nagoberera mbagala nnyo wabula obanga tuna subscribing tutambulire wamu ate osana okujoininga nobera member w'omukutu gwaffe guno tutambuze ebigambo bulungi akapeesa kali wansi wano wa video kaliko ekigambo join okubuka konako kajja kuendagiro kyolina okukola olaba nga ojoininga okufuuka member w'omukutu gwaffe guno tutambulire wamu oba nayo neggulyo so tuweza ntulikonamu tewali buzibu tewali agambayo no bad gambayo kale mukama Katonda nsaba bankumire tujja kuba tuddamu tuwaye mweraba